former and current hashira in the Demon Slayer Corps. Let's get started. Number 12. Kanae Kocho. Kanae was the former flower pillar of the Demon Slayer Corps, as well as the sister of the former insect pillar. She was slain several years prior to the present story. The Kocho sisters lived a peaceful, privileged life with their wealthy and loving parents, who continuously doted on and cared for them. However, this all came crashing down when a demon attacked their home. Their parents tried to protect the two and were slaughtered before their daughter's eyes. They would have been next, but they were saved by the timely arrival of Gyome Himejima, who killed the demon immediately before it could kill either one of them. After these traumatic events, the two sisters made a promise to both join the Demon Slayer Corps to stop the demons from inflicting the same horror and pain they experienced on others. Both of them soon became successful demon slayers after completing their training and developing their own breathing styles. During her time as a demon slayer, Kanae was a flower-breathing user that was skilled enough to hold the position of the flower hashira, a position only reserved for demon slayers who have slain one of 12 Kizuki or have successfully battled and slain at least 20 demons. One day, while traveling through a village, Kanae took notice of a little girl being dragged along by a leash by a man. Even though the girl was nameless, dirty, and didn't speak, Kanae approached her and attempted to convince the man who purchased her to let her go. When he demanded money in compensation, Shinobu flung money in the air, grabbed the rope he released, and ran off with the girl. They then took her to the butterfly mansion, adopted her, and named her Kaneo. When the girl proved unresponsive without orders, Kanae gave her a coin to flip to help her make decisions until she could make decisions on her own. Some years later, Kanae ran into the upper rank 2 of the 12 Kizuki, Doma. She was fatally wounded during the encounter, but he was forced to flee from the rising sun before he could devour her. As she lay dying in Shinobu's arms, she tries to convince her sister to leave the Demon Slayer Corps to live a normal life, but her sister is dead set on avenging her. With the last of her strength, Kanae described Doma to Shinobu before succumbing to her wounds. Number 11. Shinobu Kocho. Shinobu is a demon slayer of the Demon Slayer Corps, but her sister is dead set on avenging her. With the last of her strength, Kanae described Doma to Shinobu before succumbing to her wounds. Number 11. Shinobu Kocho. Shinobu is a demon slayer of the Demon Slayer Corps, and the current insect hashira. Despite not possessing the physical strength to cut off a demon's head common to that of an average demon slayer, Shinobu uses her creativity, ingenuity, and other physical abilities to make up for it. Instead of the traditional method of decapitating a demon with a Nichiren blade to kill them, Shinobu opts to use a modified version of a katana that acts as a stinger to inject lethal wisteria poison that is poisonous to demons. Shinobu is present when Kagaya Ubuyashiki receives news of the situation unfolding at Naragumo Mountain, and is given the order to travel there and assist the lower-ranked swordsman. Much later, Shinobu appears before a heavily injured Zenitsu, greeting and asking him if he is alright. She then suddenly appears behind the daughter of Rui's demon family, wishing the creature a good evening and commenting on the beauty of the moon that night. Startled, the demon attacks the demon slayer with her strings, but Shinobu dodges them all effortlessly. After a conversation with the demon, Shinobu tells the elder daughter demon that in order for them to be friends and to satisfy those who have died, she will have to endure punishment, explaining in gruesome detail what she had in mind for this, and adding that the creature won't die from it, so there will be no after effects. Enraged, the demon attacks Shinobu again, but the demon slayer quickly bypasses her, simultaneously landing her insect-breathing attack on the creature. She laments the demon's poor choice, turning and subsequently watching as the creature collapses. She later attempts to attack Tanjiro and Nezuko, but her attack is deflected by Giyu. She questions his interference, noting that if he continues this course of action, everyone would hate him. The insect hashira asks her fellow demon slayer to get out of the way, apologizing to him when he replies that he isn't hated. She turns her attention to Tanjiro, telling him that he is protecting a demon and that he should get away from her. The young demon slayer explains that Nezuko is his sister, causing Shinobu to pity her and plan to kill her with a toxin that inflicts no pain. A while later, during a final battle inside the Infinity Castle that Muzan had created, Shinobu enters a room and discovers Doma eating a group of his own female disciples. Shinobu angrily inquires if he remembers the Hayori that originally belonged to her elder sister. Doma finally remembers her by the butterfly wing design Hayori that Kanae once wore, and playfully expresses his disappointment at not being able to eat Kanae due to the sun rising. The insect hashira swiftly launches an attack at him, using her insect breathing to inflict a powerful stab directly into Doma's right eyeball, which impresses him since he couldn't block it. Shinobu hopes that the poison will be effective enough to kill him, but then learns that Doma had already received information regarding her poison from her battle against the spider family. Now hedging her bets on injecting a large dose to kill him by using a 6-stab attack, Shinobu strikes him using insect breathing and successfully hits him. However, as she attacks him, he simultaneously attacks her, cutting both her collarbone and ribs and puncturing one of her lungs. However, Doma recovers almost instantly from her attack, by which Shinobu is further enraged. Now exhausted, fatally injured, and dangerously near death, she allows herself to be absorbed by the upper rank so she could poison him. Number 10. Jigoro Kuwajima. Jigoro was the instructor of Zenitsu and Kaigaku as the former Thunder Hashira. He's currently an elderly, so his strength was significantly waned due to the passage of time. But as a master of the secret techniques of demon slaying, he still holds a considerable amount of knowledge that he can pass down to the next generation. Kaigaku managed to master all of the thunder-breathing forms except the first form. Meanwhile, Zenitsu had only managed to master the first form and none of the others due to his inexperience. He committed seppuku when his former student Kaigaku defected to gain the powers of a demon. After Zenitsu managed to kill Kaigaku, Zenitsu and Jigoro briefly meet in the afterlife. His student apologized for not being able to get along with Kaigaku. Before Zenitsu is forcefully returned to the land of the living, Jigoro declared that Zenitsu was his pride and joy with tears in his eyes. Number 9. Mitsuri Kenroji. Mitsuri is a demon slayer of the Demon Slayer Corps and the current love